I don't know. I never like to speak about myself. Let other people speak about it. But I always believe in one thing. Whatever you do, do it well. Whether you're Chief Minister of Sarawak, Prime Minister of Malaysia, or the street sweeper. Whatever you do, do it well. Then you will do justice to yourself and justice to others. If you think you're going to do well, don't. Don't do it at all. That's always been my philosophy. I know I'm not a businessman. I don't know much about business, so I never deal with business. I'm quite unlike my older brother. I think he'll make a very bad politician, but he's a very good businessman. I think maybe I've become quite a good politician, but don't give me business. I'll just mess it up. Okay. So knowing what you can do and what you cannot do. I have other ambition, of course, many economists and all that, but in the end, it's always politics. Poverty, ignorance, disease. You see, our real enemy is not each other. Our real enemy is poverty, ignorance, and disease. So I try to as far as I can, leave the world a little bit better than what it was when you first came in. Perhaps I'm very idealistic, but that's what I believe in. You cannot ignore an elephant in the room. You cannot ignore an elephant in the room. As I always said, the English language is not only the language of the Anglo-Saxons living in England. It is an international language of communication, of diplomacy, of science, of technology, and all the rest of it. And with all due respect, Bahasa Malaysia is somewhat limited in that field. So my approach is, of course, Bahasa Malaysia will be the first language that for Malaysia. Of course, we will do that. But there's no harm studying a second language and be proficient in it. What is better for a Malaysian to be at least bilingual or even trilingual? One, his mother tongue, her mother tongue. Two, Bahasa Malaysia. Three, English. So, you cannot ignore an elephant in the room. It's there. My jurisdiction only goes about Sarawak. So I say any official communication with the government of Sarawak can be in, of course, Bahasa and English. I'm trying to work out a program now together with the Ministry of Education on how to popularize the use of the English language. Many graduates are not employed or even unemployable because they are not proficient in English. Sorry to say that, but that is the reality. I don't want to be in a state of denial. There is corruption in this country. To what extent, I don't know, but you cannot deny there is corruption. Otherwise, there won't be MACC and people going to court being convicted and all that. But don't expect me to perform miracles. The fact that they make a pledge does not mean the problem is solved. That is just the start of solving the problem. So the second point, of course, is prevention. And especially in the timber industry in Sarawak, there's rampant rampant corruption. Now that we have a campaign against illegal logging, there's less of it now. And I call, for instance, I call about nearly a few thousand forest officers and forestry corporation officers and some enforcement agencies. And right to their face, I tell them, some of you are corrupt. Not all, of course, but I said, right in front of them, I said, some of you are corrupt. And, we'll do something about it. And I brought the MACC with me, together with me, and in front of them, I said, some of you are corrupt. Which has proven to be quite right. And our campaign against logging, illegal logging, has been quite successful. Don't expect us to solve it overnight, no more illegal logging throughout the country. No. Sarawak is so big and so widespread and so on, and so much jungle. We can reduce, we have reduced the amount of illegal logging. I noticed some figures to show that 36 sawmills have closed down because there's no more illegal timber. So there you are. And the licensed companies, they are now being very careful not to infringe rules and regulations. So they need a clean up. To some extent, we're quite successful. But not completely. But this is an ongoing battle. Yes, they have, except that not much publicity. I mean, people are ruled by what they perceive. I mean, they don't go, my colleagues don't go about declaring on the top of the roof, I support Adenan, I support Adenan. They do in their own way, except they lack publicity. They used to call me Elvis in my younger days.
Can you do the swivel that Elvis did in the younger
No. I had a band we had a band when I was 18 or 17 or 18 years old. We called ourselves the Vagabond or so on.
Did you play any instruments?
Yeah, guitar, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And some keyboard, yes.
Do you still do that?
Not now. I've forgotten it all. Whatever. But I exploit my singing talent for the sake of charity. I think since I became Chief Minister, everybody want to see me sing, so I said, okay, I'll sing, provided you donate to charity. And I think I've raised nearly $1 million, I think, for charity. Me and the wife, by singing. Elvis and Cliff Richard. I'm sorry, I'm old-fashioned. I'm old-fashioned. I prefer the old times.
Do you listen to any modern songs and music, or is still
very seldom? I listen to classical music, of course, but modern pop music is Elvis Presley and Cliff Richard. And sometimes for folk and country, the Everly Brothers. I like to go to wild and lonely places with a book in hand. That is why I go fishing, and in my younger days, I used to go hunting. In Sarawak, in my younger days, we can go hunting for deer, mouse deer, and so on. So I used to go up and down the hill at night with lamb, hunting for deer or mouse deer. and camp by the riverside, by the gravel side. And then of course fishing, which will try my patience. You need to be patient when you fish. And that is where I do my thinking. Wild and lonely places. That's what I do. And music, of course. Otherwise, no other vices. I like to see nature programs, For instance, David Attenborough films on nature. Then you're more appreciative of nature, what God has created. What David has done is to make me look and see, hear and listen. Most people, they just hear and hear. They don't listen. They just see and see, but they look and look, but they don't see. But he makes us look at things in more depth. Give me five more years, because there's so much to do in the years ahead. Sarawak is comparatively backward compared to Semenanjung. We have a lot of catching up to do. And in the last less than 2 years, I think we have done quite something. I think there's a pamphlet showing that we have made about 50 decisions in the last nearly 2 years. Among others, to lower electricity tariff, to abolish toll, abolish ferry charges, and build more roads and so on and so forth, including the Borneo highway. So if in the short time of less than 2 years, we have achieved all this, why cannot we begin 5 more years to finish the job? That is my plea lah. And if after 5 years we prove no good, kick me out lah. I'll be very happy to retire. I've been here nearly 2 years, and God willing, we win the next election, I'll be sitting here 7 years. Don't you think 7 years is a bit too long to be warming a seat? Everybody has a dream, of course, and being a Sarawakian all these years, I dream of a day when there is less suffering, less poverty, less ignorance. Because these are our principal enemies, not each other. I've stated our policy very simple. Secession, no. Autonomy, yes. That's basically what it is. Secession, no. Autonomy, yes. We are talking now. See the Prime Minister's visit a few months ago. Our officials have set up a committee and to particularize what are the areas we can have more autonomy. We can solve some of our problems better in Kuching than in Kuala Lumpur. Of course, to be autonomous, you must be financially well equipped. So that includes, of course, getting more money for the state. We've been left behind all these many years, and we still got catching up to do. So that is why we went to more autonomy. Perhaps 40 years ago, we don't need it. Things are simpler then, not so complicated. But now, It's more complicated, more complex, more difficult, and all the more reason why we let the local people solve their local problem. We don't want too much bureaucracy from Kuala Lumpur. I think these people know themselves what is the reason.
But they are mostly opposition, isn't it?
Sorry?
They are mostly opposition.
No, we have also banned other people from Ibrahim Ali, Ridwan T, and so on.
Oh.
No, not just political, politicals, no. You see, my generation, before Malaysia, called what is then known as Persekutuan Tanah Melayu, Federation of Malaya. We just call it for short Malaya. Malaya, I'm belong to the old generation. We still call it.
Derogatory or.
No, it's not derogatory. It's shorter and more convenient than to say orang lari semenanjung. Just Malaya is much better, shorter. No, it is not meant to be derogatory of them. No. When I refer to some policies being stupid, I did use the word stupid. I'm referring to the policy, not the people. This policy is stupid, not the people. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, why, if there's no conflict, why do you have to stand up to KL? You know, I mean, if you can get what you want by diplomacy, so be it. Why approach a confrontational, why take a confrontational approach? If you can get what you want by being soft and by being diplomatic, so it is. Well, that is their perception. That is their perception. That is their perception.